Hi friends, welcome to today's video. My name's Stephanie and today I cannot believe we are already back with another installment of my birth month series. So in case you don't know, a couple of months ago I started this new series where each month I curate a bunch of polishes inspired by the month's different elements like their birthstones, zodiac signs, flowers, and even holidays. And this is my September lineup, and as a little sneak peek here, you can see that some of these colors are like a little bright, they stand out, and they aren't really a lot of colors that I would associate with the month of September, but I hope that you enjoy them regardless. I mean, I think they definitely fit the themes of the month. I'll talk a little bit more about it at the end. For now, let me just show you my monthly picks. So I'm actually going to be focusing the first couple of polishes on September's primary birthstone, the Sapphire, because I read a couple of conflicting things on the secondary birthstones, which I normally like to include in my other videos, but I just don't want to repeat any birthstones. So instead, we're just looking at sapphires for September, but the good news is that there are a few different colors of them. And this first polish is Mooncat's Morgue, which I chose to represent my favorite sapphire blue. I just love how dark but still twinkly this is. It just looks like a gemstone on your nail. Another shade that I love is Cracked Polish's Fight, which just recently came out. I only just shared it maybe a week ago, but I thought this was really perfect for those sapphires that are a little bit more teal leaning with flashes of green. They're just so beautiful, so dynamic when the light hits it, and I feel like this shade is just so perfect for that. Sapphires can also come in a green shade, but they kind of just look like emeralds at that point, so I love the ones that have a little bit of both colors in them. You can see that this one also shifts to teal in indirect lighting, and it is just so gorgeous, and I feel like the name is perfect too, considering sapphires are just a stronger stone. And my last pick for this birthstone is Lurid's Bert, which is a bright corally pink kind of base color with this glowing orange shimmer that shifts to gold in extreme angles. I absolutely adore the sapphires that come in this more peachy pink color, so you know I had to include it, but they do come in other colors as well, like purples and reds, so they really are so versatile. You can get a sapphire in almost any color, and regardless of the color, sapphires just traditionally represent things like nobility, royalty, and even faithfulness. Then for Virgo season, I actually have two polishes, and the first one is Mooncat's Demeter's Harvest, which is this really bright, almost sunshine yellow that has this green shimmer scattered throughout. Now, color-wise, this might not exactly give Virgo energy, but they definitely do have a connection. There's a whole story behind how they're actually connected, but for a very surface level comparison, since I'm very limited on time, they both are linked to agriculture and fertility, which makes sense when you think about Virgo being known as the virgin or the maiden, and just the timing of the season where it's around the fall harvest. So this just felt like the perfect shade. I also have Lacquer's Juice Cleanse, which is normally what I would consider more of a Virgo color, since Virgo is an earth sign, and this is what I would call a very earthy green. It's not quite a sage, but it just has this really beautiful dustiness to it that I just think is so grounding, just like Virgo energy. Virgos are also known to be very health conscious, so I thought the name was pretty fitting too. I also really do love the formula on this one because it just makes application so effortless and efficient, both of which Virgo absolutely needs. Then later in September, we move into Libra season. So I chose Cirque's Chiffon, which you should know by now is my go-to sheer pink shade. It is just so elegant, so classy, not doing too much, and very demure, just like a September Libra. My bottle's running low, so I was struggling with the application, not to mention I have a skinny brush, but the end result is giving clean girl nails. I'm sorry that my bias is showing. I'm a Libra sun with a Virgo rising, so I just had to include 2 polishes for each sign this month. But the second polish that I have is Holo Lowkey Blushing, which is this super gorgeous blush toned rose. Libras, as you might know, are known to be the flirts of the zodiac. They're very much into all things love and romance, so I thought this color and name were perfect, especially for the month of September, where it's just pink but still very appropriate for fall. Finally, moving on to the flowers, one of September's birth flowers is called the Morning Glory. They usually come in these really intense, rich purple colors, but I wanted to focus on the blue ones just because, I don't know, I think blue flowers are so beautiful, and I really thought that Cracked Polish's Grotto from the most recent Italy collection would be a really perfect color match. Morning Glories can represent things like love and affection, but they're also known for representing a fresh start or a renewed sense of hope, considering they only bloom early in the day. The other September birth flower is the Aster, and these are associated with a few different meanings like love and patience, but also wisdom and elegance. And while this is not a color I would wear this time of year, I just had to include Olivav's Aster because it has the perfect name. This one is more of a minty blue that I think is really fitting for the spring season, but I guess it's a nice pop of color if you don't want to wear anything dark just yet. I do actually have a second polish for this flower. This one is Red Eyed Lacquer's Aster All, which was from Hella Handmade last year. I don't remember which month, and I don't really remember if there was like a flower theme for the month, but I thought the name was pretty fitting, and I think the color is just more fitting for September. It's sort of this sheer, mauvey, almost purple leaning kind of base color, but I would say it's a little bit more pink leaning on me, and it's filled with this really beautiful golden shimmer, so maybe not the exact color of some Aster flowers that I've seen, but I think it's still beautiful. Then moving into some holidays, the first one I wanted to highlight was National Coffee Ice Cream Day, which is on September 6th. I never would have guessed there would be a holiday for this one, but there is, and I was just so happy to see it because coffee ice cream used to be my absolute favorite flavor. I also do really love a good cookies and cream, but I feel like coffee ice cream was my go-to. I haven't had it in years because I don't have dairy anymore, but it just brought back so many memories, so I wanted to highlight this holiday, and I thought Talon's Coco was the perfect coffee ice cream color. Then on September 16th, we have Collect Rocks Day, which is so random, but I absolutely love it because I am a rock hound. I just absolutely love rocks. I have so many of them from so many different places. I just think they're so beautiful. Like, they can come in these different colors and patterns, but I especially love the ones that are from rivers because they're just so smooth and soft. And I really love how sometimes they have this like sparkle to them. So I thought Olivav's Icicle was the perfect sparkly rock kind of color. And lastly, this isn't technically like a holiday, I guess, but more of an observance, but it's to celebrate Bisexuality Day, which is on September 23rd. I don't have a single polish to represent this, but I wanted to just include some bisexual pride manis that I've done over the years, including the one that I did recently this year when I came out. I guess you guys are learning a lot about me in this video. So that wraps up my best polishes for September. So hopefully you enjoyed this month's lineup because, again, I feel like these colors aren't really what I associate with this month. Not to totally spoil upcoming videos, but you are going to start seeing, you know, a couple of fall related videos, and they just are so different than these shades. I feel like this does still work though for the month just because of, like, you know, the different energies, the different elements, and I do feel like like color-wise, these are also sort of like transitional shades, where if you saw my video on my transitional favorites just last week or the week before, you'll probably see where I'm coming from with these, where they're brighter but still like a little bit deeper. So a good in-between of the summer and fall seasons, which I feel like, you know, September is usually that in-between time, because I know technically fall does not start until later in the month. And I talked about this in a couple of like my comments in my transitional favorites video, that, I mean, as you guys know, I'm a big seasonal wearer, but when it comes to fall, I feel like it's even more limited, mainly because of Halloween. Like, I know some people start celebrating Halloween in September, like there's this whole push of, you know, celebrating things earlier. And even for me, I feel like October is just dedicated to like Halloween colors and manis and all of that. So that really only leaves September and November for fall. But then with November, it gets into like Thanksgiving colors, like starting to get into holiday colors. So it's like really a short time period to actually just enjoy like true fall shades. And again, not to spoil anything upcoming, but I'm just very excited for what we are seeing this season, and I'm just gonna do my best to wear everything that I can. So let me know what you think of this month's lineup. Again, I do hope that you enjoyed it. Leave me a like if you did, or just leave me any and all thoughts that you have down below so we can chat about it. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.